Welcome to this special episode of the iReach podcast. Today, we're exploring the I Built This experience, an initiative that opens the doors to the construction industry to the next generation. Hosted by ConstructReach founder Paul Robinson, these events give students the chance to step onto real construction sites, connect with industry leaders, and discover new possibilities for their future. Here's Paul Robinson to tell us more.
I built this started really as an opportunity for us to reimagine what it looked like to show up in communities and introduce a younger demographic to the different career opportunities that exist within construction. You know, we had some partners that were willing to dream with us. Me coming from the industry, because I was a former construction project manager, and when opportunities come up within the industry, a lot of times those who look like me or come from similar communities and backgrounds, the different career pathways that exist within construction, we just weren't privy to. So for me, understanding like how to really connect with a younger demographic, maybe those from an underserved community or what have you, to really show up, affirm them, but then also to introduce some very practical next steps to put them in position to explore these different career pathways was an opportunity for us to really lean into. And so, I built this was birthed really out of a desire to operate essentially kind of outside the box, if you will, in terms of how we build. And it was to bring a younger demographic behind that proverbial construction fence, if you will, so that there was visibility and accessibility to not only what was happening within their community, but to see the different opportunities that existed with the industry of construction for the built environment. We started down in Atlanta, and we were able to actually partner with Target. We started out just leveraging their remodel store, hosting this event for students in the surrounding communities where they can come on to site. It was a huge win-win-win because you had a brand that was able to really show up in the community in which they had a presence. You had an employer being on the general contractor and the subcontractor side to really show up and present their company and allow their employees to really showcase what inspired them to be within the industry and tapping into their intrinsic value. And then we were able to also put educators in a position to develop working relationships with the industry. And simultaneously, we're transforming the younger demographic because now they see people that look like them. They see something that's happening within their own community. And we are affirming them in the process, piquing their interest, showing them what's possible, allowing them to move into the first, I call it the major intersection of life, as you're transitioning from adolescence to young adulthood, where you are presented with independence, right? But you want to move into independence in a way that, feels like you are prepared for what's about to happen in this next transition of life, which is young adulthood. And so it was a huge success. We got rave reviews from that. And that was back in 2019. Since then, we've been able to go across the US and do these various events, these I Built This events, that's really become a national campaign for us to not only introduce opportunities to young people and untapped potential, but also showing the industry like what it really means to have a presence in communities and allowing the developments of those communities to spark interest and permeate into those communities for change. For a young person coming onto a construction site, it's something that just doesn't happen, right? I think the only time where you come extremely close to construction that's taking place is a lot of the road work that's taking place, right? And so, you have people that say, hey, you can't go this way as a detour. You can't go this way. You've got to slow down, what have you. But I think from afar, young people see developments that are happening. But again, to bring them behind that construction fence, to allow them to see the activities that exist, it's a whole new experience for them because a lot of times, right, that demographic, if you're not associated with the industry, you really don't see it until it's open for business and open to the public. a lot of things that are actually careers, for instance, like utilities and the electrical components and things of that nature, those things are covered up, right? When a facility is open to the public. And so being able to come during the process and you actually get a chance to see how something is built from the ground up, from the dirt, if you will, and those foundational elements, those things that go on behind the scene, and all of the different activities and the logistics and the timing that it takes, and the scheduling and the overlapping of certain things. For me, I've always said, construction is community because you have various individuals that are gifted to do a particular thing, and no one person does everything, but they all need each other to accomplish something for everybody to experience, right? Everybody plays a role. And that's what I tell young people is that nobody has a monopoly on all the gifts. Nobody has everything, but everybody has something, which keeps us in constant need of one another. And I think construction mirrors that because they need each other to accomplish this project. And so you have to leverage, you have to value, you have to lean into interdependence so that you can accomplish something. And I think being able to tie that in to young people and where they are and trying to put things in perspective is something that we've been able to do very successfully. It takes a lot of intentionality. You got to know your audience on both sides, right? And I think we've been able to really strike a beautiful balance in being able to do that.
So listen, we are here in Houston. This is actually our second time, and we are at the Post downtown. Very cool space. But as you can see behind us, we've got a very nice space, man, that we've brought the kids to, and actually got one of the students where we are introducing construction careers. And so, tell us your name.
Hi, my name is Fatima Chapa from Cape Eastern High School.
And then what grade?
I'm currently in 10th grade.
10th?
Yes.
South Ford.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Cool, cool, cool. So talk to me a little bit about, from a young person's perspective, right, from a student's perspective, how is this experience going for you?
So far, the experience been so good. I've been loving it so far. It's amazing to interact with professionals in the industry and learn a lot. I never thought about construction till now, and that just makes me very excited for the future. I never thought about all the opportunity that this career offers. Especially, I wasn't really aware of all the technology that it involves, especially with the IT members and all the new innovations that they've been having currently. And I'm just really excited. It was great to also meet a lot of people from different schools, and the hands-on activities are great. It really helps us as students engage with it. It's not just like you're listening and like lecturing. It also makes it more like interesting and fun. And I've just been loving it so far.
So you can imagine like the amount of stories that we have during these I built this events, which is more programmatic now. I like to use the term, program because we've grown to that now. But I put it like this because we've got some amazing stories for how it's shaping and transforming young people's lives. But I think we can all agree, regardless of where you are and what age you are. I think we can all agree that we live in a very entertainment centric society, right? Whether it's our athletes, whether it's our musicians, whether it's our artists or things like that, they hold a high place in our society, and we have things that are centered around that. And I'm a fan. I mean, you can see I got a sports hat on right now, right? I am a diehard fanatic, right? I love my basketball, I love my baseball, I love football. I mean, tennis, everything. So I get it. And what we are accustomed to seeing is those particular athletes or artists, those are the ones who sign autographs, right? And I always give this story because I think it speaks volumes. About 2 or 3 years into us doing the I Built This events, with the intentionality, this was some of the confirmation that we got that we were really tapping into a young person and affirming them and giving them something to aspire to be. Because other young people that we started to highlight that had careers within the construction industry that were just one step removed from where these high school students were. The high school students started asking these young professionals, 19, 20 years old, going straight into the workforce and excelling in their careers. They started asking them for autographs. And that's something that we just don't see in our society. That is something that I've never seen, right? With someone asking for an autograph from somebody that just works in construction that the entire world doesn't know. They don't have this elevated platform. And so I would say this, with all of the other things that have happened during our IBTs and all of the amazing stories, like that is something that really stands out to me because you just don't see that.
Everybody behind us, as you see in these yellow shirts, these are the students, right? So we got one amazing student with us today. Jansen, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Now, what school are you from?
I'm from Miller Career and Technology Center.
Cool. So listen, we've been doing these I Built This events for the last 6 years. Tell me a little bit about like this experience for you all. Is it hidden? Is it relevant? Is it needed? Like, talk to me a little bit about what the students are saying.
Right. So from a professional standpoint, I think this is a really relevant experience, and it's a really good opportunity to get hands-on learning and a lot of advice from industry professionals that are here with us today. Just for example, like some of the principles that we learn in my engineering classes at Miller here can be applied to the hands-on activities that we're doing. Like in my class, we learn about electrical systems and AC/DC, and here we have a station where we can actually hook up the electrical wiring to switches and lights. So that's really interesting, and just hearing about the industry and getting some opportunities from professionals is really cool. There's actually one station where the professionals give you an opportunity to sign up, get some more information about a summer internship opportunity for the construction company. I can't remember the name.
The cool thing about it is we've got partners who are here for the second time participating in an IBT event. And the first time, we had internships to come out of that. And so we were very intentional about telling them about the importance of letting you guys know what opportunities are available, and then to provide that visibility to what your options are.
Yeah, I think it's a really, just a really good and interactive experience. It's not like you're just listening to a lecture or anything. So it's a really interesting opportunity to have.
It's amazing that we just get a chance to continue to do this program, and we're going from city to city, but we're able to establish relationships in those cities that we frequent and have essentially a program where we're able to not only just come in and do something once, but we're able to build those relationships, establish industry, educator, and community relationships so that opportunities can continue to come.
Yeah, we try to take into account who our audience is, right? We know that you guys are in high school, so you got anywhere from 14 to the ages of 18, right? And so we want to make sure that we're intentional about not only just educating you, but not boring you at the same time, right? And so we want to make sure that it's engaging, that, we have some pretty cool elements in there, that it's fun, because learning can be fun. And so I'm glad that you pointed that out, because it's not just lecture.
Exactly.
It's an experience, right?
Exactly. And I just think that us hearing from people that has a lot of experience help us understand better, like, what are we going into? Especially now I have friends that are rising seniors, and they were, like, struggling to find, like, what career they want to do in the future. So for them, understanding what they're going to and all the things that construction involves makes them understand better the kind of decision they're taking, especially since it's a life-changing decision. Like, it's what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, and it's just very important for us students to comprehend where we're going to. And I mean, we're having fun while learning, so I think that's great.
For this year, we're back in the school year. We've got an event that's coming up here in St. Louis. We've got an event at the Cleveland Convention Center that's coming up, the Huntington Convention Center. I mean, just to see the wave that we've been able to be on and ride. We've got great partners that see the benefit in what we do, like the International Code Council, in which we're partnering with them later on this year, in Cleveland, and some others. It's an amazing thing to see how, regardless of what's going on in a particular city and where developments are taking place, we've been able to build a program to where we can leverage what's happening and still introduce opportunities, expose young people to different career pathways that exist, and have industry partners that are all for giving back and showcasing what it takes to be within this industry and putting people in a position to move to the next step in their career journeys.
So what about your friend group? Are they enjoying it? How's it going? How are the conversations going amongst the friends?
So pretty much everyone that I'm here with from my school, I'm hearing positive feedback.
Yeah.
Everyone's enjoying it. The food was really good.
Okay, that's
yeah,
good.
a couple people, I have a couple friends that signed up for the internship, and we're talking about our different experiences, because we were kind of split up for the activities. But we talk about our shared experiences with the different activities, and we're all having a good time.
One of the reasons that we started the work of ConstructReach at large was understanding that you had an entire generation that was aging out, and we weren't backfilling those positions at the same rate in which people were aging out and retiring. But I think it's just being able to, for one, affirm, right, the individual, being able to showcase what is possible, and then showing up and supporting them in a way that is practical for where they are, but then also showing the industry how maybe things need to change in terms of what outreach looks like, or is there an opportunity to explore different partnerships to be more intentional so that you're able to continue to thrive and support your clients in a very successful way. And so with there being a need for career opportunities with young talent, with there also being a need for expanding the workforce from an employer side, and also wanting to show up in communities in which you have a presence and really be a partner, and then also having educators that wanted a better working relationship with the industry. And so it definitely does not happen without great partners. It definitely doesn't happen without vision as well, being able to cast vision effectively, and then having a plan to execute that, but then showing people where they fit into that narrative. I think that's super important for, somebody to understand, okay, I see what you're trying to accomplish. And then now that you've been able to share that clearly, I know what role I play in that, and that's something that I want to do as well. So when you have that value alignment to accomplish those things, that makes the work a lot much more meaningful, easy too.
So you're not just having fun with it leading to nothing, right? You're learning, being educated, having fun, and getting a job.
Of course,
Right?
yeah.
That's what we do at ConstructReach, right? And so I'm super excited for you all. Talk to me a little bit, or just your final thoughts about why you think these type of events are important, especially when it comes to the industry of construction.
Right, so I think for construction specifically, a lot of people think of one specific image of just building, workers building, but there's so much more that goes into construction and the whole industry. And I think that y'all did a really good job of showing the different facets of this industry, the electrical parts, the drywall people are here. You have drones and augmented reality showing more of the software behind the construction. So I think it's really helpful to see the scope of opportunity that could come out of an industry that not many people know about.
Our partners play a huge role because they are the ones that are introducing and facilitating a lot of these learning experiences for young talent. And for some of that talent, it's the first time that they've ever been exposed and to go on these type of, we call them field trips, if you will, and have the opportunity to do this work-based learning. This is the very first time where they're getting exposed to these different careers. And so our industry partners, they play a large role in being able to introduce a younger demographic to their profession and to recruit young talent, because we always pique interest. We have, and I'm happy to share this, we have at least 80% of students that are interested in pursuing the opportunities that were presented to them. And so our industry partners play a large role in that success, because it's how you show up, it's how you lead, it's how you teach in that short moment that you have with those students. It's how you engage with them. It's how you show that, you're here to support. It's what opportunities you present that allows for them to understand how they can take what they're learning today and then what that means for them when they go back to school and then beyond.
You know, it's all about letting you guys know what your options are, because graduation is going to be coming up. And you are going to be expected to make informed decisions about what you want to do. And so from an adult perspective, this is why we have a collective effort from the industry, is to let them know how we can show, our support by being able to provide you with an understanding of what your options are when, you're considering, or when, it comes to the industry of construction. And so I'm glad that, you got a chance to speak to how now you are thinking about this industry, but before coming to this event, you didn't have this type of exposure.
Exactly. And I love that everyone, like staff members and even the speakers, having such a nice attitude, very positive, and that just make us feel like we're not going into something that it's hard, or like it just give us like an idea of the kind of environment we'll be going to. And I feel like once you interact with them, you really get to understand like the kind of people that you're going to be interacting with in the future. And I just love that everyone is very open-minded, and they being really open to answer questions and just help.
If you are a contractor that is excited about what we presented, or you've seen or heard from some of your colleagues in terms of what we do, what we've been able to do thus far, hey, there's always room for collaboration, right? We're always looking to collab. We're always looking to support. We're all about community. And if that's something that resonates with you, hey, we're looking forward to hearing from you.